Hello there. Made sure to go ahead and recording first. Hello there. Going with Zolikong, aka Major Nathan here with the second part for the 2022 NFL season predictions. Yesterday, spent a lot of time going ahead over the teams, about a couple hours. Going over each and every one of them, just some quick thoughts and other hits and stuff with Johnny, and then spend the next couple of hours going over the first third of the season. And I feel like we can go ahead and just give a bit of a recap now to go ahead and go over what predictions have been made so far. Looking at this point in the season, we can see again looking at the AFC East first. We have the Dolphins leading the division, also with the number one seed at this point, with a 5-1 record. Bills surprisingly with a 3-3 record. Patriots then 2-4, and Jets without a win. At the AFC North, leading the division as well as holding on to the second seed overall. The second seed overall, we can see that there is the Baltimore Ravens with a 5-1 record, tied with a couple other teams who are first place, but their division as well. They're then right behind with 4-2 records, and the 6 and 7 seeds in the playoffs at this point are the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. And at the bottom of that division, at a 2-4 record, are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next up in the AFC West, there's the Denver Broncos, also with a 5-1 record, like the Ravens and Dolphins. They got the third seed overall, and right behind them, the same record. But unfortunately, the top wild card seeding with the fifth seed are the LA Chargers. And then you have a couple other teams with 3 wins behind them, 3-2. I almost said Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, and 3-3, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are surprisingly at the bottom of their division at this point. There's a lot of games left to play. That can definitely change. Although, by all means, Kansas fans will be really mad, and I do not, if this were the case in the real season, I would rather go ahead and just put earmuffs on anytime some studio starts wanting to call Patrick Mahomes washed, because that would not be the reason for that at all. But here, into the AFC South now, we have leading that division, and the only team there that would be in the playoffs at that point are the Tennessee Titans at 3-2, but with a 3-3 record, so 3 wins as well, easily able to make up that, take the first place in the division are the Indianapolis Colts. And then you have the 1-4 and 1-5 teams with Texans and Jaguars respectively. About expected for them, honestly. Now we go to the NFC with the NFC West, where you have the number one seed as well as one of 2 teams in the league at this point. I have without a loss. There are the LA Rams, and behind them in the playoff race are the San Francisco 49ers. Probably still hurting and counting the days till they get DeAndre Hopkins back, or the Arizona Cardinals at 2-4. And to the surprise of only their head coach are the Seattle Seahawks without a win at this point. Number 2 seed over into the NFC East, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, the other team with a flawless record at this point. And then both these 2 teams that are sitting at 2-4 in the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Commanders, that's about expected for them. The Cowboys would be really upset, really angry at situation. The Giants are probably actually in an understandable point, but just wishing they could have a winning season for once. Okay, now over into the NFC South. There's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 5-1 record, third seed at this point. There's the New Orleans Saints, who would also be in the playoffs, just barely at this point, with a 3-3 record. And then Carolina Panthers 2-4, Atlanta Falcons 1-5. Finishing up, we have the Vikings and Packers both at 4-2 in the NFC North, followed by both of them feeling okay about theirs. Oh, the Vikings feeling better about their position than the Packers, I imagine, just because the Packers would be second in their division if things were to stand as they are. But then you also have the Detroit Lions at 2-3. Uh, Maybe living up to their expectations, maybe still not hitting them. Not too sure, but then at the bottom of the division are the Chicago Bears and the many tears that they are crying right now because they're watching their hopeful franchise quarterback just get destroyed out on the field time after time. Ah. All right, that's a lot of talking out of the way now, though. But some pretty big news that came up today that's going to have a bit of an effect on the predictions. Yesterday, I said that part of the stream there would be the assumption that the Sean Watson, the quarterback now for the Cleveland Browns, would be suspended for 10 games, and today we found out that it's in fact 11 games that he's going to be suspended for. So one additional game to worry about, and I believe they have their don't they have their bye immediately after that, actually leading into the next game. I'm not here to discuss my feelings on that. I already made it's I don't other than I don't feel it was enough. But it's a frustrating situation. It's fucking frustrating. Yeah, that's the only additional thing to bring up. Again, gonna be making sure to go over like the teams that have an obvious rest advantage first, as well as the Thursday night games to kind of like go into the order from then on as the games would be presented. The Sunday noon games, or overseas games that would be beforehand, the 4 o'clock games, and then the primetime games after that. Last week, we also saw that there were a few teams that, as you can actually see on this predictory here, making sure to put the beds nearby to make it easy to tell. The teams that entered into that a bye week during week 6 are the Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans, Las Vegas Raiders, almost said Oakland again, and the Detroit Lions. So those teams will all be coming in with the best rest advantage of any team, and I'm going to go ahead and just secure a win for the Titans right now, simply because Vrabel, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, I did mention this yesterday on the last stream, that Mike Vrabel is 8-0 when he has more than 7 days to prepare for a game. He is remarkably flawless, and you can only say that is a mark of good coaching, because you can't just do that off of luck. Alright, and some other teams that we're going to be seeing, the Raiders and Texans don't really get a benefit from rest because both of them are coming off of bye week, so neither team will really have any other benefits going on for them in that part. And the Lions do get their rest advantage against the Cowboys, so this actually should be a pretty nice one to see. The Cowboys also technically get a few hours less time to prepare, but it doesn't matter too much. So yeah, let's see now. What time would that game be? That'll also be a Sunday noon game, it looks like. So, let's think about this one real quick. All right, we have the Lions. I might actually be feeling that they would very well actually handle the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are playing scared. The Cowboys see how far away they are at this point, based off of these predictions. See how far back they are behind their rival, the Eagles. And they're going to be playing for keeps. They're going to be putting their all into this. They're not going to be able to hold any punches here. So I feel like they'd go ahead and actually manage a victory against the Lions, but it'll hurt them a lot. They're gonna go toe to toe, and there's gonna be some freak last second field goal, or a big play that Dak Prescott makes to go ahead and get the victory over the Detroit Lions here. So it's not exactly gonna be the best look for them, but it'll still be an exciting game, and they'll start to feel a lot better as they are getting back into close to an even record, and close to being back into how they want to be. All right, now that we looked at oh yeah, also the teams that are on bye this week are the Buffalo Bills, Minnesota Vikings, the Eagles, as well as the Rams. Oh, the two teams that have yet to lose, according to these predictions, get to go ahead and have some rest. Good for them. Good for them. All right, now the teams that could also benefit from some rest are the Commanders and the Bears, who played the previous week's Thursday night game. All right, and this week they're going to be the Bears actually get even more rest as they will be spending more time going ahead and preparing, as their game this week is going to be Monday night against the New England Patriots. Now, I would feel like the extra rest should help Chicago as well, but unfortunately, Bill Belichick has a stellar record when it comes to facing off against QBs either in year 1 or 2. And he's going to be able to go ahead and find a way to make life even more of a nightmare for Justin Fields. Just with their defensive schemings. Now, a lot of the roster talent might actually be a bit equal, but we're going to go with the more experienced coach in this place who has a great record against quarterbacks who are still learning the way in the league. And I'll go ahead and pick the Patriots in this victory here. Now, the other teams to look at are the Commanders, as I said, and their next game is going to be the Packers, hosting the Packers. And it's honestly hard to say that even with a few days extra rest or anything, having a home field advantage after this, I can even believe in Washington getting this victory here. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Aaron Rodgers, kind of picking on a team that still doesn't know itself and might be getting a new head coach at the end of the season, even if the fans would be happier if they got a new owner. All right, now that we looked at the teams that have the rest advantages here, go ahead into our Thursday night game, which is the Saints at Cardinals. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go with the assumptions that starting week 7, every team will go ahead and truly have an idea about who they are and how they should play. Their offenses will mostly have the schemes figured out. Defenses will fully understand their packages and formations, as well as how to react to everyone else. So we're not going to go ahead and have the still learning disadvantage for some of these teams, especially for the disadvantage that came from new coaching units trying to put in their own schemes. Alright, Saints at Cardinals, we're going to go ahead. We're still a couple weeks away from Hopkins being back for Arizona. The Saints are proving to be a thorn in the side for a lot of teams here, but this is one of those games where you can just expect Kyler Murray to go ahead and just go wild and have one of his MVP level performances that he always has before just floundering some other time. Such a weird up and down quarterback play that you can see from him. Oh, hey Johnny, how are you doing?
Hello, I was trying to sneak in and pull up your stream without being noticed. But I am here. I am here to talk Arizona versus...
Here, I can share my screen to make it easier to see. Yeah, I just went over some of these games so far. One with the ones that had rest advantage. Gave the Titans victory over the Colts because Vrabel has, at this point in real life, an 8-0 record when he has more than 7 days to prepare. I gave the Patriots the win over the Bears because Bill Belichick has an almost flawless record against quarterbacks in the first 2 years. Cowboys only beat the Lions because tenacity tried to get themselves to be a winning team, and Packers beat the Commanders despite the rest advantage there because they're just a better team.
Ooh, and Arizona is playing New Orleans on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see Arizona walking away with that, even though D-Hop is still out for, I believe, another 2 weeks at that point. Or, well, 1 more week.
I just I expect this to be one of, like I said on the stream just a bit ago, I expect this to be one of those games you see Kyler Murray gives that performance that makes you just believe he can play at an MVP level, like he's shown so many other times. Just especially with the lights flashing on him. Yeah, I have to believe that's an Arizona victory.
Yeah.
Hey, only 2 more weeks for Hopkins to be back for them at this point. All right. Oh, and next up here we have we're going to the Sunday noon games. We're going to be going with the Browns at Ravens. The Ravens have really had their way with Cleveland the last during the whole Lamar era. Well, before then too, but that's because Cleveland was just being the Browns. All right. We already went over like the recent today's news regarding a Browns quarterback.
Yeah, of course.
But I feel like this one, no matter who's that quarterback here, if it's Garoppolo or Brissett, I'm leaning Baltimore here. Not just home field advantage, but I don't know if Lamar himself has lost to Cleveland yet.
Did they lose last
The only
year?
that was when Lamar was injured.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They won the game where he got injured too, I believe.
They did, yeah. Yeah, I could see Baltimore easily taking this game from Cleveland.
Oh, another thing is I try to keep like the home and away splits to be about 50-50, somewhere near that for who wins, because that's how each week typically goes. No one, like the home or away, is never really heavily advantaged over the other. All right, our next game on the noon slot is going to be Tampa Bay versus Carolina.
7 weeks into the season, I wonder if Baker can still be starting. Not that he doesn't have the ability to. It's just like
right now with these
Carolina.
predictions, and right now with these predictions, Carolina's at 2-4, while Buccaneers are at 5-1. I don't feel like Carolina is in total panic mode right now, but they likely will be and just start juggling through their QBs in desperation.
Yeah. But I think no matter who is starting, let it be Sam Darnold or let it be Baker Mayfield, I think Tampa Bay easily comes away with a victory.
Yeah, it's just Tampa Bay, while some of their secondary might have been removed over the offseason, like had to depart because of cap space and all other issues. Their run game, the run defense, still going to be good, most likely. And if CMC is healthy, he's going to have a hard time. And if he's not healthy, Carolina's going to have a hard time. But yeah, Tampa Bay win here. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons at Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati wins.
Yeah, I feel like this might be... I want to say this could be the game Ritter starts, but it might still be later on in the season.
If anything, I could see him starting by like maybe week 9.
Yeah. I did kind of like wonder when he would start because they face a lot of good pass rushes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to have him tested and then just have him killed by a pass rusher. You don't want to throw him to the 49ers, have Nick Bosa kill him. You don't want to throw to the Browns, have Myles Garrett or Jadeveon Clowney kill him. You don't want to throw him at the Steelers, have TJ Watt kill him. Oh no. But yeah, enough on that one. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Giants at Jaguars. All right, we have two teams that both have 1 win so far in these predictions.
I would call this a breakout game for Trevor Lawrence where he does really well and he keeps the hope alive that he can be the starter for the future. I think they take it.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. At the same time, I feel like this is going to be a game where we also see Daniel Jones let down New York big. Like, people see the Dayball system working well and being hampered by a quarterback that's not able to bring the most out of it. Yeah, that's 7 home teams having a victory so far as we move on to the 4 o'clock games with. I feel like this one's an obvious one. Another home team may be winning with Jets at Denver.
It's unless something happens up to this point in terms of injuries, Denver takes this one wholeheartedly.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jets. No win yet.
Yeah.
Still one of 2 teams without a win. Man, I feel bad for those New York faithful. All right, but oh, here's another game that could be pretty sad. Both these teams coming off of a bye, so they're plenty rested. It is the Houston Texans at Las Vegas.
Bet high, cover the spread. Oakland, I'm sorry, not Oakland. LA, not LA either. The Las Vegas Raiders are coming home with another win. They're coming off a bye week, but they get to rest, relax, and Devontae Adams has a career game.
Yeah. Oh, this is one where I can just see the Texans getting torched.
Yeah.
Boy, I feel bad. I mean, I feel bad for the Houston fans. Like, there's parts of the Houston organization I'm not gonna be happy with no matter what, but I feel like the fans also aren't happy.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, oh, here's some more sad times. The Seahawks get to travel to Los Angeles to face the Chargers.
Let me know if this sounds familiar. Cover the spread, career game, San Diego, aka LA on top.
Those powder blues are gonna
Yeah.
just, oh god, they're gonna be turned red with the blood they get from beating up on the Seahawks.
Week 7, DK is gonna realize maybe I shouldn't have signed that extension.
Week 7, we're gonna hear talks about him wanting a trade before the deadline.
For sure.
Alright, oh hey, we have a good game here. Now, surprisingly, the Chiefs are 3-3 at this point, just because of the rough start of things, I imagine, but they get to have a good game against San Francisco. Oh, this should be a fun one.
Let's see. You have them at 3-3. How do you think at this point, week 7, Trey Lance is performing?
I feel like Trey Lance will actually be looking pretty good for the most part. He'll have his expected ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he can go toe-to-toe with Mahomes, especially a furious Chiefs trying to rocket their way back up the seeding for the playoffs.
I think after seeing after seeing all 3 of their divisional rivals picking up wins today, this game's going to mean a lot to them. And I think they take it to San Francisco as hard as they can. I can see them picking up a win.
Now, unfortunately, right now, we have only 3 away teams coming away with a victory versus 10 home teams. That's a bit skewed. I'd rather have like a couple more away teams get a victory somewhere. Just to kind of like close things out, but oh wait, no. I forgot the Sunday night game, Steelers at Dolphins.
Hot take here. This is a Sunday night game. The lights will be shining bright. Tua needs to perform. I think Tua underperforms in this game. I think the Steelers steal one.
Yeah. I feel like this is a TJ Watt game and one of those ones where Minka Fitzpatrick looks back into the form he had a couple years ago instead of his weird up and down season last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a defense win. That is a low-scoring game. All Steelers victories, I can't imagine, are by they score more than 20 points at any point. I'm sad for their wide receiver room and Najee Harris. Najee Harris seems like a really cool guy from everything I've heard. Oh. Still would rather have at least one more away team coming out with a victory this week, just to make it more even on things.
Yeah, but a lot of the games this week are the home teams are very heavily favored.
Yeah. My best bet would be the Lions somehow getting a victory over the Cowboys with their rest advantage coming off of a bye week, but that's going to be a Dallas team that's is furious about where they are and wanting to get back into the playoff hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait till this comes out in like the real world and the Lions actually end up beating Dallas by 20 points. That'll be fun. That'll be fun for multiple reasons. All right, now, but heading into week 8 now, we're going to be looking at the teams that are coming off of their bye week first. Oh, OBS just disconnected. Oh, Johnny?
Wait, can you not? Can you?
Johnny, can you hear me?
Hey. Hello, Nate.